Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Lockhart.
And I'm Matt Morgan.
Today's webinar is on Cruise Plus.
If this is your first video that you're watching from our YouTube channel, Matt and Lisa Travel Counsellors, then we have an array of other videos, so please check those out as well. But yes, today is all about Cruise Plus. We love cruise, we book lots of it, but Cruise Plus is a totally different take on your average cruise holiday, and it's completely built around you. So welcome to you, Nick.
Hi, Matt and Lisa.
How are you?
I'm good. Are you guys?
Fabulous, thank you.
Yeah, really good, thank you. And thanks for joining us again. Whenever you're ready, over to you.
Yeah, okay. So Cruise Plus basically is essentially a cruise and stay product, or a stay and cruise product. We are part of the Donata structure, so part of a company called Donata, which is 100% owned by the government of Dubai, and we are one of the largest air service providers in the world. So Donata has quite a lot of tour operators that sit underneath it. So we have some really good backing there, being owned by the government of Dubai, and our sister company is the Emirates Group as well, which I'm sure that you would all be really familiar with. So I'm just going to take you through a few things around Cruise Plus and just tell you basically what it's all about today. So Cruise Plus is essentially a package which is made up of a cruise, some flights, and also some ground arrangements. Ground arrangements are usually for 2 nights or more. So what that would be something such as flights out to a destination, a hotel stay, and then a cruise somewhere in amongst the itinerary. Transfers we can do for you as well. We can do tours, we can do rail journeys. So it's a cruise and stay tailor-made product. It's got total flexibility to be made around the exact requirements that you want, and we can basically put anything together. We deal with all the scheduled airlines, and we, as I say, we deal with quite a lot of touring companies, car hire companies, motorhome companies, and also as well we do some incredible iconic rail journeys as well, which you can have as part of your itinerary. We're also able to get what we call out-of-date range flights as well with some scheduled airlines, which allows you to book early for your cruise, obviously if the cruise is on sale. So if you were looking to look at a couple of years in advance to make a booking and put a deposit down, then so long as the cruise is on sale, we can have a look for you and see if we can get you a price around a tailor-made itinerary.
Bro.
So we deal with ocean cruise lines, which are, for those of you that are regular cruisers, would be somebody such as Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, luxury cruise lines as well. We do ultra luxury cruising, so your Silver Seas and Regent Seven Seas as well. River cruising is massive at the moment, so and you know, we're doing more and more bookings on river cruise, so that's something, if you're looking for something a little bit different. River cruising obviously tends to be a little bit more around visiting cities, doing a lot of different stays within one itinerary, and then expedition cruising as well. So this is real bucket list stuff. Antarctica, you can go to Antarctica expedition cruising. So again, I know a lot of the programs on the telly, so you've got the likes of Jane McDonald, who's been doing Cruising with Jane regular series, which is fabulous to give you some ideas and inspiration around cruising. And also as well, you may be watching some of the wildlife programs and thinking, well, you know, I actually would love to go to Antarctica, I'd love to go to the Amazon, South America. This is the kind of thing that we can do. So we can do basically everything and anything. So if we move on to the companies that we deal with, so these are some examples of the ocean and luxury cruise line partners that we have. We deal with probably about 40, just over 40 cruise companies. And you can see on there that there's some sort of regular cruise companies mentioned before: Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, Princess Cruises, P&O. You've also got on there some other ones as well, which you may not be too familiar with. We have Disney Cruise Line. We can package those together for you, obviously through Matt and Lisa. And Disney cruising, we can do the cruises from Florida, and you can add on some stay there. So you could stay in a villa, you could hire a car, you could drive down to the Florida Keys and stay down there. You could then maybe jump on a flight and go over to the West Coast, over to Los Angeles, San Francisco. And then maybe if you wanted to over there, you could then pick up a cruise with a different cruise line, such as Princess Cruises, and you could maybe go on a cruise to Hawaii. So you're not set to dealing with one company, one cruise company, or one flight provider. We can basically mix and match everything and put everything together for you. On there, you'll see that we've got Virgin Voyages. They are fairly new to the market, but again, we can make bookings with those. And a couple just to point out as well, we have Paul Gauguin Cruises, which is there in the middle. That's an ultra luxury cruise company with some smaller ships, like big yacht style boats. And they are based down in the South Pacific and Tahiti. So again, if you wanted to do an itinerary where you went out to Australia or New Zealand, and then you wanted to pick up one of these cruises so that you've got a cruise within your itinerary, then you can do that too. Celestial Cruises, which is there, you can see on the left-hand side. That's a Cypriot-owned cruise company. They're a luxury cruise company with smaller ships, and they sail from Athens, and they do itineraries which will allow you to stay overnight in such places such as Mykonos or Santorini, whereas most cruise companies will just go there for the day. Because they're smaller ships, then they can get into some of the ports there. And somebody such as Celestial Cruises and a lot of the luxury cruise companies as well do actually do ultra all-inclusive, so they include things such as your drinks, etc. on there, so really, really good value for money. I think, mentioning that we can do everything and anything on an itinerary, just to give you an example, I know my parents did one for the 50th wedding anniversary with Norwegian Cruise Line. They flew out from Manchester over to Dubai and did 3 nights in Dubai in a lovely hotel. They had some trips and excursions around there as well when in Dubai. Then they sailed from there, did like an Asia cruise, but they went to India, they went to the Maldives, they went to Abu Dhabi, Thailand, Malaysia, and then round to Singapore, and then they did 3 nights in Singapore, and then flew back business class flights. So that's the kind of thing that we can do and put together for you. So some really, really amazing itineraries there. And if we move on to the next slide, we've got
Nick, can I just interrupt a second? Because I think just while this slide's up here, it's worth mentioning to everyone watching that you may have some people watching this now and you recognise the brands that you see on the screen, your season cruises, and it's great that we're able to offer you something completely a different type of holiday than you perhaps experienced before. But you've also obviously maybe looking at this and not have a clue about any of these companies you've seen. So if you're new to cruise and may want to try cruising as part of a larger holiday, then that's where myself and Lisa will come in. We've travelled on most of these cruise lines you see for our own holidays, or we've visited the ship for the day, or we've got lots and lots of clients that have travelled with them. So kind of that's the conversation we would have and kind of highlight the best cruise that would fit kind of what you like to get out of your holiday. So please don't be put off by how many cruise lines you see, because we'll be able to say which one's right for you.
And that's a really good point as well. And the other thing that we do have is we've got some brochures. So we've got some electronic brochures that we can, that Matt and Lisa can get copies for you, or copies of a proper paper brochure, and send them out to you. And they will give you a little bit of inspiration around all of these cruise companies. There's a section on the ocean cruising, a section on the river cruising, etc. The other thing with us being part of Donata, we have really good negotiating power with a lot of the cruise companies and the airlines to get really competitive rates as well. So we do get quite a lot of special offer rates, special fares. So some of the pricing is amazing when you look at what you've got together in the itinerary, and the brochures will give you perfect examples around that. River Cruise and Expedition Cruise Line, you can see on here. So there's a few on there. Some of them I'm sure that you may not have seen before. So we have the likes of the American Queen Steamboat Company, really popular. This is getting even more popular, and it's basically the old paddle steamer boats, which I think Jay McDonald did actually go on one of these, and you can cruise down the Mississippi, and then you could stay in New Orleans, for example, or go over to Memphis. You could then fly down to the Caribbean and have yourself a nice week in Barbados, and then fly back to the UK. You can also see on there, we've got Croisière Europe, which is up at the top there. That's a French company, and they are sort of 3.5-star, 4-star river cruises, and they are really affordable cruises as well. So if you've thought about wanting to cruise the rivers in France, or they do like the Russian waterways as well, then they are a super company for you. So there's all sorts on there. There's Arosa in the middle there. They even do some family-friendly river cruises as well. They do ones where they do the River Seine, and then you can go to Disneyland Paris, and we can package all of that together for you, along with your flights and your transfers as well. So you don't need to worry about anything. We'll take care of everything for you. And then on the last slide, because River Cruise is really up and coming, there's just a little bit of information there on where you can cruise to. So Asia, absolutely. Vietnam, Cambodia is massive. So you can see there that you can do a river cruise there, and then you can do a land-based stay. And again, we'll put everything together for you. South America, you could go to Machu Picchu. If you wanted to sign that off your bucket list, that's in Peru. And then you could visit South America, and again go to the Caribbean. And a couple of really popular rivers, Portugal, the Douro River in northern Portugal, again really popular. And river cruising books up really quickly because the boats are smaller. So you may have one of the river cruises on the Douro which might only have sort of 30 people capacity. So river cruising, if you're interested in it, is something that you really need to get booked and put your deposit down, and then at least you've secured your space with Matt and Lisa on there. And then you've got Russia, you can see on there, which again is somewhere really different, and go up and river cruise down the Russian waterways. So yeah, so that in a nutshell is really what the product is all about, but we can put anything together for you, and it's really amazing.
Fab, Nick, that's absolutely brilliant. I think there's some really unique ideas, and people will hopefully help people realise that the type of holiday that you can do. You can have a cruise, but you can also have so much more surrounding that cruise on your holiday as well. So that's brilliant, Nick. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Thank you, Nick. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Watching, please, as I said before, check out any of our other videos on our YouTube channel as well. But have a good day and see you soon.